Okay, guys, so we're going to be talking about the Mecury LMG versus the Terminator. Hey guys, come and join us at twitch.tv/TeamVASH. We stream 18 plus hours a day and we're the most active Save the World streamers on the planet, so come and join us and be a part of the team. Man, I've been getting questions and so much controversy between these two weapons. Vash, which one's better? Terminator's not the best, Mecury's the best. Well, we're going to talk about that right now. And we're going to clear up which one I think is the best and why. So we're doing a side-by-side comparison of the Mecury LMG and the Terminator. As you can see, the Terminator does more damage per second. However, that's not entirely accurate because the way per second works is that it calculates your damage and your attack speed. And as you can see, we don't run damage or attack speed on either one of these weapons. So as a default palette, the Terminator would do more damage, but that's actually total lies. Total lies. Alright, so this is the build. The builds are not identical, as you can see. The Mecury runs with a crit damage perk, whereas the Terminator runs with a damage to afflicted targets perk. Now, these are definitely not the same. The crit chance is 38%. So, when you have a crit damage perk that does 135% damage, that is basically the equivalent of a 51.3 bonus damage. Now the calculation that I did for that is I took 135% and I timesed it by 0.38. 38 because that's the crit chance. That's the amount, that's how often you're going to crit. So 38% of the time you're going to be getting the 135% critical damage bonus. So if you take the 38% of the time, that comes out to 51.3% bonus damage. As you can see, 51.3% bonus damage is higher than 45% damage to afflicted targets, especially since the 45% only affects every shot after the first shot, which of course is almost irrelevant because the Terminator fires 1 billion bullets a second. So, you know, one bullet is not going to make much difference at all, but it can. It can. In any case, so straight up, the Mecury, 51.3% damage versus the 45% damage to afflicted targets. The Mecury is the champion. Second, causes affliction for 6 seconds. This is an awesome perk. I hit targets all the time and they die because of affliction. If you've ever not had affliction on a weapon, you will count over and over and over and over how many times you've almost killed a target and then you had to go back and aim at him and shoot him again to finish him off. You don't have to do that with an affliction gun. Affliction guns will murder everybody. If anybody survives with a little bit of health, you could just ignore them and keep on shooting and not even, stop your onslaught and know completely that that enemy is going to die. Any critically damaged enemy gets finished off by affliction, and it's a wonderful, it's my favorite perk in the entire game. Terminator has a huge advantage in that department for me because I love affliction. It is a game changer and it is always relevant all the time. It is bonus damage and it is sweet, man. It is sweet. I love affliction. Every single gun that I have, if I have a choice, it has affliction on it. So then we're going to go look at the Mecury LMG. Landing 5 hits in a row on a single target causes a small explosion, damaging enemies within a half-tile radius for a whopping massive 70% damage. That is huge. So in the situation where you can hit something 5 times without killing them, they will explode, murdering everything around them. All the baby husks, all the regular husks, the bees, the pitchers, they're all dead. Anybody who's within a half-tile radius when that thing goes off is dead meat, man. I have taken out some crowds of enemies with this ability, but, and this is a big but, this is a highly, wildly inconsistent ability. It is not something that you can rely on at all, but it rarely has relevance because getting 5 hits on one target in a row is super hard because this gun hits too hard. Good luck shooting something 5 times without killing it. Like, good luck. Like, I can kill most huskies in under 5 shots. The only time you can consistently get an explosion is when you're shooting at a blaster or at a smasher. Those are the two big ones. Shooting at a taker usually doesn't matter because he's usually flying in the air. So yes, you'll get the 5 shots and it will blow up and it will probably contribute to the kill. But it is a very, very janky passive that does not really benefit you most of the time. When it does work though, oh my gosh, it is power. Oh man, it's so good. Oh man, I've like I said, I have killed some crowds of enemies by getting that 5 hit in a row. Like when you get that blaster completely surrounded by enemies, or when you get that smasher who's completely surrounded, all the little horde walking in, you're just like, and just everything dies. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Oh man. So for me, the Causes Affliction is way better than the explosion. The explosion, for all of its power, it just isn't consistent enough to be utilized. But on the other hand, you have the potential to kill more enemies and do more DPS than the Terminator does. I would even say that the Mecury, this ability gives the Mecury a chance to do as much damage to a big target as the Terminator does, maybe even more. But on the regular, for general purpose all the time use in every single situation, the Terminator is going to outperform the Mecury. And the biggest reason why is honestly comes down to the fire rate. The fire rate is just insane, man. It fires 10.8 fire rate compared to the 6.75 of the Mecury. This means that you're going to cut through crowds like that. It's going to be so fast. Like when it comes to just like tearing through a crowd of enemies, just spraying into a crowd, the fire rate on the Terminator is so insane that it's just gonna annihilate everything. Like just annihilate everything. It's so crazy because guns are so heavy on crit right now. Like as you see, like the 395% crit damage on the Mecury. The top end damage is so nuts. Like you hit down here and then you crit. It's like, oh, hit, boom, hit, boom. Like it's like every third shot pretty much is going to be a crit. So you're going to hit like 2 little baby shots and then a massive kill shot. This is going to mean that you're going to overkill targets a lot of the time. Like you're going to hit way more damage than you need. It's kind of a bummer because you'll be shooting into targets and targets sometimes won't be dying because you're not getting the crits. And then when you do get those crits, the damage is often not fully realized because you're overkilling the target like crazy. So because the fire rate is slower, the crit variance is much more noticeable. When you're firing lower damage shots with a higher volume of fire, the crit volume is going to be going like this, up and down really fast. So you're going to hit that average a lot quicker, a lot easier, and a lot more seamlessly. You're not going to notice the highs and the lows of the crit rate variance. So the Terminator is going to feel like a much more consistent gun, and that consistency feels real good. If you sit up on top of a pyramid and you're like looking down at the enemies, it's like it's like a weed whacker, man. You're just like cutting down swaths of enemies because that rate of fire is so crazy. You're just like annihilating the whole crowd. Where the Mecury is like this, poop 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 poop, where the Terminator is like it's just like puking bullets everywhere, just like killing everything. Like the rate of fire really makes the damage per second on this gun just completely blow the Mecury out of the water. Mecury is probably better for taking down big targets, but for practical use and for how fast you're going to take down a crowd of enemies, the Terminator is going to take the cake every single time. It's just a much more consistent, way faster. I mean, it's going to eat up way more ammo. Don't get me wrong. That's hardcore, man. This is a medium ammo weapon, just like the like the Founder's drum roll. It even sounds like the Founder's drum roll. and it fires so much ammo. But again, it's not bacon ammo, right? This is not energy. This is ammo. You can just farm for ammo, no problem. If you have lots and lots of nuts and bolts, you know, you're not going to care about ammo at all. You can go farm it up. You do one run through a city, you got tons of nuts and bolts again, you're good to go. Whereas bacon is not so easy to farm. Bacon is kind of janky. You know, it's a very valuable resource. You're using it for your gas traps. You don't really want to waste it on creating ammo. So the ammo is a huge win in, you know, on the side of the Terminator. The fire rate is a huge win on the side of the Terminator. The damage to afflicted targets is a huge win on the side of the Terminator. The Mecury LMG is not without its merits. It does horrific damage, and it is super accurate. Like it is a much more accurate weapon. When you're standing still aiming down sights, this thing is a laser beam. Like literally, it shoots lasers, and it is also a dead-on laser beam, super accurate gun. It's, you know, it's not like a Wraith or anything, but man, this thing is highly accurate for an LMG. So if you have problems with the bloom on the Terminator, then the Mecury might actually be your best friend, because it is a really accurate LMG, and because it fires slowly, it will use up your ammo a lot slower, and your clip size will last a lot longer. But for just mowing power, for brute force DPS and cutting down waves of enemies and just like dumping bullets into a crowd and into giant, like, man, you can kill a smasher in a second with the Terminator. Like, it just, like, the rate of fire is so insane. You just aim for the face and it's just like done, like done. Everything dies. So these guns are both absolute god tier, insane super weapons. The two best guns in the entire game for the best meta in the entire game. Both of them are now part of the classic set. You got the classic set Terminator and the expansion set, classic set now, you know, part of the expansion. You can unlock both of these with flux and manuals. So if you want to go get these guns, you can go get them today. The advantage of the Mecury is that it's always going to come out with the exact same perk. So you're going to get the best version of this gun on the first try, whereas with the Terminator, you might have to try a few times before you get lucky and get that affliction perk. So my pick for #1 gun is definitely the Terminator. The consistency, the rate of fire, the affliction cleanup, just everything about this gun. The only downside to this weapon is the bloom. And that is not, for me, I don't have any problems at all managing that bloom. But for those of you who are a little bit more picky about wanting your shots to be super accurate, yeah, the Mecury LMG is the gun for you. These guns are both god tier. They both do horrific levels of damage to the enemies. The Mecury is definitely a little bit more focused on taking down big targets with those explosions and the AoE clears. The damage potential on the clears, if you get it done, is crazy, man. Crazy. So anyway, I hope you really enjoyed my Mecury LMG versus the Terminator review. Terminator is the #1 in my books. I love it. I love the sound that it makes. I love the feel of just a Gatling gun in your hands. I love how consistent and reliable the insane damage output is. And yeah, the Terminator takes my choice as the #1 gun in the entire game with the new ramping soldier meta. Alright guys, if you like this video, like and subscribe. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and comment down below if you have any other reviews you'd like me to cover. Catch you guys next time. So if you like this video, come check us out on Twitch. We Twitch stream 15 to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every single morning starting at 9 a.m. We'd really appreciate the support. We're working really hard to grow the Twitch channel, so come and check us out. Come help us grow and be part of TeamVASH. Thanks, guys.